Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this first Saturday in July. And, of course, that means that Dave Gabbard is in with us. Good morning, Dave.
It feels good to be inside.
It does feel good to be in. And Gene Smith is
sitting outdoors.
Yeah, Gene Smith is sitting over. Yeah, it's so hot. Sir. It has been hot here. And speaking of hot, we got a young man on with us right now that, man, you're talking about a whirlwind trip. I mean, he grew up in the Delta. And Ron Wong is online. And where is that Delta, Ron?
That Delta's in Northern California.
There you go.
Sacramento Delta.
That's right. And Ron is going to be on with us to talk to this young man because Ron grew up in that same Delta, not in Mississippi, but in California. But this young man has made the circuit, went to Tuskegee in Alabama, get his degree. And just recently in Pierre, South Dakota, he ended up winning a big tournament, the Bassmaster Elite. And I can't even pronounce the name of that lake. Mark Daniels, what is it, Mark? What do you call that lake?
I believe it's called Oahe.
Oahe. Yeah.
See there, Ron? He doesn't even care what it's called. I mean, he just he knows he won it. Hey, and we're privileged to have on Outdoors with Larry Ray this morning is Mark Daniels. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing wonderful, and I know you're coming off just recently, just last weekend. Golly, it seems like to go to Pierre in South Dakota and to win this tournament. What did this mean to Mark Daniels?
Oh man, it's it's a dream come true for one, and just kind of like a lifetime achievement in some regards, man, because I've always wanted to be a professional angler, and having the opportunity to be a professional angler is one thing, but then to come out on the biggest stage in our sport and actually win one and take the W and the blue trophy home is a whole nother thing. And I can tell you it's made my year for sure. And I'm just hopeful more to come.
Yeah, and Ron,
not only does it make your year, Mark, a lot of good points towards AOY, and of course the big trophy, and that's a place in the Classic in 2019 in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I know you're looking forward to going there.
Yeah, we still got our work cut out for the Classic. There's still 2 more events, but man, I'd love nothing more than to be right there in Knoxville, Tennessee, chasing down that super big green and brown trophy.
There you go. He's got these trophies colored here. This
color-coded.
Yeah, he's got this blue trophy.
Yeah,
you did win some money, didn't you, Mark?
Yeah, that's the green trophy.
Yeah, that's the green trophy.
I got a couple bucks.
Okay, that makes it all the more difference for you. Tell our listeners, Mark, a little bit, and I'll ask Ron to get into some of the details about your techniques and stuff of your journey. Mark, I think you fished in your first tournament when you were 14. You owe a lot to your dad. I've read up some stuff and things about that. You have taken that circuit and really made a dream, and I think you want to really be and it just worked out, folks. You got to stick around for the next interview too, because this is the first time the BS has told me this is the first time in its 50-year history that African American anglers have won back-to-back tournaments. And so it just worked out. Ron set up to get Mark on. I set up to get Ish Monroe on next. And we got the same guys on Outdoors with Larry Ray today. How cool is that? So tell our listeners about your journey.
Yeah, no, that's super cool for one. My journey is very similar to most guys that are out there on tour, man. It's just I've had a passion for bass fishing as long as I can recall. I never gave up on the dream or the passion. I always pursued tournament fishing. And the short of it was I was fortunate enough to win the TBF National Championship in 2013, and that afforded me the chance to make a stab at doing this full time. Packed my family up from California and relocated to Alabama, and that was almost 5 years ago now.
Wow!
And fast forward 5 years, I'm here on the Bassmaster Elite Series, which is a dream come true, and I just got my first victory over on Lake Oahe in Pierre, South Dakota. So, man, it's that's the short end of it. Of course, there's a lot in between. ups and downs, highs and lows, and wins and losses. But that's the short of the story.
And the kid, you can see now, you have a great opportunity, Mark. You realize that to be an example to some kids that you'd like to see get involved in the sport. So tell our listeners out there.
Yeah, I mean, and this goes across the board for all children of all races, of all ages.
Yes.
It's just more or less, I grew up in the inner city in Richmond, California, which is not a place known to put out professional anglers on any level.
That's right.
It is directly adjacent to the San Francisco Bay, and so we do a lot of fishing in general. But, kids grow up and they idolize guys like LeBron James and, baseball players and athletes and rappers and musicians, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. I just like to make mention and highlight the fact that there are other opportunities out there, such as the outdoors, whether that's hunting or fishing or filming or whatever the case may be. It's just another avenue that you can take. And so I always like to kind of highlight that and show children and the youth that there's more out there than just your basic core athletics that you might, do in school and stuff like that.
Well, Ron,
that's absolutely right.
Yeah, you've seen him fish. Yeah. Tell
Mark,
us.
I have been in the boat with you, and I see how meticulous
Yeah.
you are about everything that you do by the way you fish and how focused you get. And, there in South Dakota, you came after day one when David Fritz was leading. You just was very, very steady with good weights every day, climbed the leaderboard until you finished. And it was one of your wonderful sponsors, Z-Man, that helped you win that tournament, wasn't it? And talk to our listeners, Mark, about what you use and how you fish.
Yeah, and it's certainly a huge shout-out to Z-Man. Every single fish I caught this week came on Z-Man products, every single one of them.
Yeah.
I do need to take a step back, though, and highlight some other things. Like, I was making a really big run every single day. I was running a 100-mile round trip.
Oh,
and when you're running in water as big as Lake Oahe, the products that you are using is such a key element. Because if you don't get back, you don't win tournaments. You don't cash checks. You don't make a cut.
That's right.
You don't. You zero. You get nothing. And so, my Ranger 520L ran flawlessly, powered by Mercury Pro XS.
Yeah.
Another key thing in that rough water was my Bob's Machine Shop Action Series jack plate. Extremely important to be able to tune that motor in to handle that rough water.
It was rough.
If a lot of guys just run their motors on at a set height, and I found in the rougher water, when you can adjust that height, you keep that boat in the right, hitting just right, it allows you to make it through that rough water. And so that was really key. Fishing wise, yes, Z-Man, everything I caught was on a finesse TRD with a 1/5 ounce shrooms head, which is also by Z-Man's.
Yes.
And then I was on a drop shot wacky, a finesse worms.
Amazing.
All that was thrown on a 7'1" medium heavy action, favorite 6-stick, and a 2500 series Cabela's Verano reel.
Yes.
And last but certainly not least, 15-pound Seagar smackdown braid attached to a 7-foot leader Seagar.
This guy's got it down.
Tatted.
He's got it down. This is exactly the same thing you were using when you were 14, right? So does that not change the equipment that you started with and the equipment you got? So this win, as Ron was telling Mark, to come off this thing, I mean, you got work is not over, right?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Work is not over, right?
Oh, no, we got a lot of work ahead of us, man. I'm sitting 26 in points right now.
Yeah.
There's 2 more events, 3 more events technically with the AOY Championship.
Yeah.
It's not a cakewalk, man. I need to go out and have a really good rest of the season, these next couple events, and finish up strong and make this classic.
Well, you've nudged out our buddy Casey Ashley. I know that. I mean, you beat some pretty good guys up there. This has got to be a boost to your career. I mean, how old are you?
I'm 36 years old.
36 years old.
Young man.
So this is the boost that maybe you want. What's life been like in just these several days since you won that tournament? I bet you didn't know you had as many friends, right? So.
Oh, you ain't kidding. After I won the tournament and got done doing some interviews with writers and photographers, et cetera, looked down at my phone. I had 304 text messages.
Come on. Well, 300 of those were from Ron Wong. So, come on.
I think Ron probably had 3 of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ron, we got to get out of here and let Mark get back to his business. Ron, you've been with Mark. He looks to me like he's a guy that's capable of doing bigger and better things, right, Ron?
No, absolutely. Mark, number one, is a true gentleman.
Yeah.
Number two, he is an excellent fisherman. And I will tell you, I am so proud of what he has done. And
yes.
And he's so good for the sport of bass fishing, and he's going to go a long way. And I'm proud to call him a friend. I look forward to seeing you, Mark, here in a couple of days
at ICAST. Yeah.
And we'll sit down in the Z-Man booth and talk about the baits that you use and get some good pictures out of it, buddy.
Well, yes, sir. Most certainly will, man. I appreciate you guys having me on today.
Hey, I can't think of – when I was looking at this thing before I let you go, anybody that has their favorite movie, Shawshank Redemption, you're my man, okay? All right?
Yeah. That is a great
you've already hit my day right there, buddy, for an old geezer like me and everything. Hey, Mark, thank you, buddy. Nothing but success. We got your number. We know how to get back in touch with you. Nothing but success for you. We'll talk to you down the road. Okay, buddy?
Thank you, sir. You guys have a good one.
All right. Let's take a break. Ron Wong will hang on, and we're going to see if we can head to California again, I guess. And
Go west, young man.
Go west, young man. And that's what Ish Monroe did. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.